Hello YouTube and welcome back to Sports Psychology Sunday. Today I'm going to give you a hopefully in less than 6 minutes just an absolutely diamond gold sort of lesson and teaching that completely changed my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. On this channel some of the things that I talk about are theories that I'm learning about or ideas that I'm exploring. Um, and it's fun and should be taken with a grain of salt. This stuff is, I bet my life on it. I know this is true. And when I tell you that this is life changing, I am not kidding. This is not some sort of YouTube trick or whatever. This in 6 minutes, or time is ticking on and I'm blabbering, but absolutely life changing. Trust me on this. So, what we're going to talk about today is how to train your mind to get more energy, more focus, and more happiness. And I explore all sorts of different schools and ideas, but this from the sort of military, from the fire department, from um, let's say sports, this works and I can guarantee it. And I can explain it with a bunch of neurobiology and in 5 different sort of symbolic languages, or you can just trust me. The first step is to activate your mind. And what that means is basically turning off cruise control. If you activate your mind, you stop sort of going on automatic in life. You actually identify and look at what you're thinking. It's like breathing manually. Of course, we breathe automatically, but you can, if you notice it right now, you can start to breathe manually. And that is what you should be doing with your mind as often as you can. And some people may say, oh, that sounds exhausting. That is because they are losers. Exercise is exhausting. And, obviously, doing it all the time, every day, is bothersome, but that is what pro athletes do. And if you want to have the mind of a kung fu monk, or a hyper winner, or just do it a little bit, that's fine too, but don't tell me it's exhausting. So identify and activate your mind. This is in order to identify resistance. When you are feeling lazy or afraid or sad or whatever it may be, when your mind gives resistance to stop you from doing things, you need to identify this. So if it is tiresome, for example, to go and study, take a step back, look at it from a helicopter perspective. Oh, my mind is giving me resistance. It doesn't want to study. Now, you can delve into all sorts of different reasons. You can get into dopamine, stuff like that. It doesn't matter, because the solution is very easy. You train your mind like a dog or a child. And what I mean by that is you use classic, easy behaviorism. And you treat your mind as a separate entity. That is why you need to activate it, so you can look at it and realize that part of your mind is not you. Then, once it is separate, this is going to take 7 or 8 minutes, not 6, you reward positive behavior and never, ever negative behavior. You ignore or punish negative behavior. What do I mean by this? It means that when your mind is feeling good about something that you like, that it's feeling good about, you reward yourself. So after you have done a workout, if you are feeling that sort of blessed after workout high, sort of. Then you celebrate and reward yourself. You must never, ever, ever reward negative parts of your mind. So, for instance, if you are feeling stressed about studying or school or work or something, you must never do or reward yourself with something that gives you positive emotion. So don't go shopping, don't drink to numb out the stress. You only shop or drink or stuff like that when you are celebrating and rewarding positive things. Because if you think of your mind as a separate entity, like a dog or a child, what happens when you reward it when it does stuff that you don't like? It will do those things more. That is why drinking when you are feeling bad will make you feel bad more often, because your mind knows that it will get alcohol. Instead, if you only do that when you are doing the correct thing and your mind is feeling good, your mind will start to behave positively. You need to ignore or punish negative behavior of your mind. So for me, it has always been, I always work out the day after I have been out drinking. If I were to not do that, I am not allowed to drink anymore. And that has always been super easy for me to work out hard the morning after I have gone out drinking. Sorry, my mouth is a bit dry. There are obvious connections to physical performance. If you encounter resistance that requires physical strength, like bench press, if you push through and do it, you will get stronger. If you are exhausted from running cardiovascularly, if you keep pushing, that will improve. The medicine is more of the resistance. Here are some examples of the mind. So the challenge is doing something physical. You're like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go do the dishes. That is a physical thing. If you identify this and you'll be like, well, motherfucker, now we are doing it. And, even more, but this is a bit extreme, if you punish this bad behavior via something, it will be even more effective. So you immediately go do the dishes. And then you reward yourself. Then you will get more energy, because your mind and your body will be like, oh, if I act this way, I'll get the things that I like. For mental, if you overcome this challenge, you will get more and more and more focus. You must never procrastinate or avoid studying, because that is rewarding negative behavior, because you're avoiding the difficult thing. If you are to procrastinate, you must punish yourself by sitting in a boring room and stare at the wall until you go do the study thing. Because then your mind will be like, oh, I can't do that thing, better just get to it. The emotional part is a completely wider topic, but just trust me on this. The way to becoming happy is not to eat ice cream when you are sad. I want to keep this within 10 minutes. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I'm going to talk about the emotion thing on in a different video, perhaps tomorrow.